Great to have you with us. In our first story, a member of the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, Mr. Fuseni, has described the passage of the Vigilantism and Other Related Offences Bill 2019 as a move in the right direction. The bill, which was passed yesterday, has the objective to, among others, disband political party vigilante groups and prohibit any act of vigilantism in the country. It's, however, one more step away from implementation. President Akufo-Addo must assent to it before it can be enforced. Speaking on News Desk earlier, Mr. Fuseni urged the president not to delay in assenting to the new bill.
We had said when the first bill was laid before Parliament as a minority that the nature of the offense and the activities that the bill was taken to deal with lacked conceptual clarity, and that fundamentally it was defective. We had also raised the issue of the procedural propriety of the bill in the sense that the president has set up the Iowa Ways-Wagon Commission, which report had been submitted to him. He had not made a comment, neither did he issue a white paper on it. And then he had invited the two political parties to consider voluntarily disbanding vigilante groups within their various parties. And then the matter had been sent to the Peace Council, which was mediated. And then here was again the president bringing a bill without lack clarity what it was intended to achieve.
Okay.
But I must say that we have since worked on the bill. The minority is satisfied with the bill that was passed today. That was why the passage was unanimous. My first prayer is for His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo to attend his hand, to assent to the bill, for it to become law. And then we can test his commitment to vigilantism, because every day we register acts of vigilantism arising out of the zealous attempts by individuals within parties to pursue the objectives of their party. And so the first major step that I pray for is the assent.
Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu feels same. He says, in spite of the controversy surrounding the passage of the bill, it will go a long way in entrenching the country's democracy.
I must say, first of all, that of course, I'm very excited that we've taken steps at solving this problem. As Honorable stated, it cannot be a perfect solution, far from that. But as a society, we should be happy that we've taken a bold initiative, of course, led by the president. That's very exciting. See, the problem is that the sanctions, as I stated earlier, sounded too harsh, way too harsh. It's as if it was an emotional reaction. But you see, after when you are led by only emotions, you are bound to create other problems.
Okay.
You disband. If you disband, you must send a notice to the Attorney General that you've disbanded.
Exactly.
So if you fail to write that notice, that's the one that also carries minimum of 5 years and maximum of 25. So the point I'm making is that you see that the profile of these vigilantes, a lot of them, they are unemployed persons and with very low levels of education. So, I mean, I'm even putting it charitably, but a lot of them you can see obviously illiterate. So you are asking an illiterate man that he has stopped his criminal behavior, but if he doesn't write a letter to the Attorney General that he has disbanded his group, he should go to jail for a minimum of 5 years. So that's the one I'm saying is too high. The person has disbanded, so he doesn't intend to go and organize any vigilante activity. But his only crime is that he has not brought in an official letter. And that failure to bring an official letter should not attract such a harsh sentence. You say it. So that's the one that I'm talking about. The failure to write a letter should not attract such a harsh sentence. You know, we are about to promulgate laws on community sentencing. Maybe we should hurry up with it. Such a person, I keep saying, it will be better you allow him to do a non-custodial sentence.
Away from that story, in the Western Region House of Chiefs has condemned what it describes as abysmal violence that took place in Discove. A statement issued by the Standing Committee on behalf of the chiefs expressed the outrage of the committee as the, quote, utter violation of traditional values, persons and property space, unquote. This follows a manhunt for the paramount chief of Upper Discove, Obrimpong Midday, the 14th, for allegedly kidnapping the paramount chief of Lower Discove, and Nana Kwesi Agyemang, the 9th, and 4 of his subjects by the Western Region Police Command. Speaking to Joy News, Obrimpong Midday denied all allegations leveled against him and promised to turn himself into the police.
Run? No, I've committed no crime to be on the run. I'm a very law-abiding citizen. As I speak to you now, I'm putting myself together to get to the Regional Police Command. I've called the Regional Police Command. This is what I've heard in the news, and I think it's not so pleasant. It's a very bad reportage, and it's preposterous and execrable. And I see no reason they need to tarnish my image. The truth of the matter is, ever since I was restored, it's about 4 years now, and there have been several attacks on myself and my subject, and all these information have already been reported to the police, but we seem not to find solution to this end. People have been brutalized, people have been kidnapped, people have been murdered. A lot of series of it that we have been attacked, assaulted, and day in, day out, almost every single day, dynamite are being fired at us. Dangerous weapons are being used to chase us from our own land. We reported the matter to the police, but I state on authority that I have evidence that I said that the security system in our Hunter West, in the Western region for that matter, is compromised. And I am telling you, I have evidence that the police are in bed with criminals. The issue is that I've always been trying to just calm my people down, not to respond to, amidst the provocation. They should never react to whatever that comes from the Lower Discove head. They should never respond. But yesterday, in fact, I spoke to them in the afternoon. When around 1 p.m., I got a call that one of my communities, that there is already existing chief there. And that is the place, the president of the nation is supposed to catch sword for a landing beach at Disco, of which that area that the landing beach is going to construct falls under my, which is the Trom area, of which there is already an existing chief. So we are preparing to even welcome the president on Wednesday for him to cut the sword. Only for us to hear yesterday, as in the afternoon, that Nana Kwesi Agyemang, that's the paramount of Lower Disco, had installed a chief of that same area, that there's an existing chief or there's a substantive chief. When I got to hear of the news that the program was ongoing, I called the police and I couldn't get through. So I sent one of my MCs to go to the police station and report the matter, of which they did. They reported to the police. There was no reaction. I had to call the MC to inform her that this is what I've heard. And I'm begging, the president is coming. It will be very bad when someone, because it was not just that they were doing installation, but they had brought macho men in the community, and they were brutalizing and torturing people. And they were firing dynamite at my people.
Monday. We understand now, though, that the gentleman, Nana Midday, has turned himself into the police. We'll be speaking to the police for those updates later in the bulletin. Now to other issues. Now, in political tension is heightening in Whole West ahead of the NDC primaries. Political tension has increased there ahead of their party's parliamentary primary slated for August 24, 2019. Two staunch members of the party, lawyer Eric Alifo and businessman Samuel Danku, have filed nominations hoping to oust the incumbent member of parliament, Emmanuel Bedra. Fred Kwame Asare has more.
King mandate to represent the Whole West constituency in parliament, and this is generating some controversies in the constituency. While some hold the view that Mr. Bedra delivered diligently on his mandate and deserves a 4th term, others feel there is a need to elect a new face. An aspirant, lawyer Alifu, who is contesting for the first time, believes Mr. Bedra has failed to prove his mettle, so he must be booted out.
We need to know, and everybody must listen carefully, that, like I said, whoever we select as MP is going to win the election. That is, Volta region, whoever we select as MP would win. but it doesn't mean John Mahama will win if people do not come out to vote. So if you select somebody who is not excited enough, who is not exciting the youth enough, the youth will not come out massively to vote like it happened in 2016. And so we need to select somebody who can mobilize people to come out and vote for him or her, and then also vote for John Mahama. I trust these people that they are going to campaign vigorously and they are going to talk to the old people, and I believe that we are going to have a landslide. Now, it is very important to let you know that there are 3 people in the race right now. The incumbent MP is there. He's done, when he finishes this one, that'll be his 3rd term, 12 years. Many people are thinking that he doesn't have any magic to spring that he will do in 4 years that he didn't have the chance to do in 12 years. So people are not very excited about him. People are not enthused about him. So for him, it's not so much in the race.
However, the camp of businessman Samuel Danku is convinced their candidate has already been endorsed by the delegates due to his benevolent lifestyle. Mr. Danku's campaign manager, Divan Fiankui, spoke to Joy News after filing his nomination forms.
This constituency has been in a state of hopelessness for so long. We are not seeing any development. We have a sitting MP who has been here for 12 good years, and he has nothing to show. So we decided that since this man is the only one who is providing all the needed development we need in terms of toilet, road development, we provide all roads for communities without water, and a whole lot of. So we decided to support him. It is the delegates who have called upon him to lead them. So we are very confident that we are going to support him through the process and ensure that they deliver a victory for him.
Edwin Covey, who was part of a team that filed on behalf of Mr. Bedra, warned against causing confusion in the party.
This is an internal contest. This is an NDC contest. We are not in fight with any external opponent. So I believe that we should have that at the back of our mind and then conduct our campaigns in decency. So that at the end of the day, when a winner emerges, who I know is going to be Honorable Manekwesi Bedra, we will come together and then work for the victory of the party in 2020. That is what we are working for.
Fred Kwame Asari's report for Joy News.
Back to Accra now, and another robbery has taken place at Achimota Mile 7 in less than a week after chairperson of the Ghana North Municipal Assembly Council promised to step up in the area. For the 3rd time running, a boutique in the community has been robbed. Joy News editor Fred Smith was in the community and reports.
The boutique just behind me has again been broken into, and some items in there been made away with. I'll take you in there to find out exactly what has happened here today. But it's not the first time. This boutique has actually been robbed. This will be the 3rd time that it's been robbed. So I'll speak to Dennis, who is the owner of the facility. Dennis, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Great. Tell us what happened to your boutique this morning.
I came this morning, I opened the shop, we cleaned up and everything, and my boy was telling me, Charlie, yesterday night you made sales, because like all this place is empty. I was like, whoa, me sales? Nah. So we just checked and we found out that, the shop has been broken into.
So you mean all of this space
they cleared the place.
What did you have here?
Shoes.
You had shoes here?
Yeah.
And all of that has gone. So how did that happen? Did they break in through the door, or how did this happen?
I think they cut through this place. If you can see, there's a hole here. They made a way there and they got through to the shop. Yeah, and I'm quite sure how they managed to clear the things here. Look at the space over there. It's worrying, and this is not the first time.
It's not the first time. Tell us about it. How many times?
This is the 3rd time. And the first time I reported to the police at Mile 7, they did virtually nothing about it. And it's like now if something happened and you report, it's like rather telling them to come and steal you more, because they know with the police nothing will happen. We've been over and it's worrying when you are trying to, a young man trying to make life and Charlie, people are pulling you down. It's a bit worrying, especially if nothing is being done about it.
But this is a situation you don't want to report to the police.
No, I don't even want to go there. Because last time I went there, this is the first time. I went there the first time, the second time. Nothing happened. And this is the 3rd time.
What do you intend to do then? Because these guys seem to be on your neck.
Honestly, if there is a way, me standing here right now, if there is a way, I should if there is something that will make the person stop, so that at least the next day when you come, you see the face of this is the person who is trying to steal me. That's what
you mean using spiritual means?
I tell you, my brother, I wouldn't lie to you. This morning I'm really disturbed. I can't even think straight. Can't even think straight. Because we are trying to make it, and it's like, you know, it's hard. It's not easy out there. And you're trying to make ends meet, and you are being put out constantly. It's worrying. If I have my way, but that's what I mean. I believe my brother sometimes. Tell this one, you will not go for free. Because if you report and there's nothing being done about it, Charlie, it's worrying.
You're live on Join News today with me, Daniel Dazi. Still to come, hashtag defend media freedom. Ghana risks reverting to the days of the culture of silence in the wake of seeming oppression on free media space. That's the warning from the owner of the first private radio station in Ghana. Tarzan tells us more shortly.
I wouldn't want to give a ranking except to say that the current government has been the worst.
Also, there are 4 men living with various disabilities, some with lost limbs and others unable to use their hands. But the 4 have gone beyond their disability to make a living. Details after this. Thanks for staying with us. Now, there's a dire warning of Ghana returning to the days of the so-called culture of silence, where media freedoms were curtailed. Dr. Charles Reko Brobe, the pioneer of private radio in Ghana, has been assessing the performance of government on protecting media freedoms as part of the Defend Media Freedom campaign. Head of our political desk, Evans Mentor, has more.
Press freedom means protection to journalists to go about their work
without any form of inhibitions,
undue influence, hindrance or intimidation or fear,
free from harassment.
The campaign was launched yesterday with the backing of the Ghana Journalists Association and the Media Foundation for West Africa. The foundation has in the last year recorded more than 30 cases of assault against journalists. Ghana this year dropped in the World Press Freedom Rankings, losing its #1 slot on the continent. Afomoni is a GJA president.
So the system should be seen to be dealing surgically with the perpetrators of attack against journalists. But what makes it so difficult, hellishly difficult to deal with, is when the perpetrators are so politically connected or they are part of the security system. Then the show continues. But this ugly spectacle must end.
Adding his voice to the campaign, founder of Ghana's first private radio station, Dr. Charles Reko Brobe, says the country is sliding back to the days of the culture of silence.
To be honest with you, press freedom, we've never had the press freedom. I mean, people will be surprised.
We've never had a press.
No, we'll be surprised. You see, you got to have freedom from something. What are you freeing yourself from? And if you look at Article 162, it said freedom of the press is guaranteed.
Yes.
Now, what do we mean by freedom? We are confusing two things. There is no doubt that we have pluralism. There's about 400 stations or media broadcasting of various sorts. So clearly there's pluralism.
Doesn't that equate to freedom?
No, at all. And there is also free speech of a certain level, that people can speak their mind relatively freely until the recent developments. Now, those two things have confused the whole thing and said, there is media freedom or press freedom. There is not. It reminds me of a Dubois Hines culture of silence. You know, the government of the party that believed in the rule of law and the freedom of speech and expression and Kabi and everything is inadvertently, because I have no evidence to suggest that it has taken specific divisions. But it's inadvertently recreating a culture of silence in Ghana. Because if you don't condemn and you do not reprobate,
it's amazing that you're
and you
using
do not
culture of silence in 2019, that you're hearing echoes of it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because
that's such a chilling thing to say. Because
I'm sorry, I need to be very chilling. These are my brothers. We've been in the trenches together. We fought for press freedom. Because I believe...
Aren't you exaggerating this?
No, no, because the issue is that, you know, if a journalist does a story, or media house does a story, and it's not sure whether goons will descend on the station, they're going to be more cautious. That's human nature. So those in authority need to come out and say, not only do we have nothing to do with this, those who actually broke the laws of this country and acted with impunity shall be taken to task. And that silence, for me, as I said, inadvertently, is recreating the culture of silence, because you are actually, and then journalists are murdered and we don't know, there's nothing happening. Investigations which we don't know, journalists are beaten, journalists have to go into hiding. Exactly. And also, all of these things, you know, add up to the recreation of the culture of silence that we all fought against in the early 90s.
The Defend Media Freedom campaign will not only create awareness about the need to protect media rights, but also call for action for a more responsible media. The hashtag is Defend Media Freedom.
Well, yesterday, the campaign to demand media freedom in Ghana was launched and the conversation is on. You can join the social media using the hashtag Defend Media Freedom. You're still live on Joy News today with me, Daniel Dazi, and there are 4 men living with various disabilities, some with lost limbs and others unable to use their hands. But the 4 have gone beyond their disability to make a living. They are masons building homes for clients in Ghana's capital of Accra. They believe until they help themselves, they will not be able to survive on alms. Joy News' Patricia Roxanne Hammond caught up with them in the Accra suburb of Amasaman and now reports.
Meet Eric, Michael, Akwesi and Kweku. They are masons at this construction firm owned by Talent R, an NGO championing the welfare of persons with disability. Like every other mason, they can dig, mix mortar and lay bricks. They will not allow their disability to halt their resolve to work and earn a living.
I don't allow my disability to hinder my daily activities. I cannot beg for alms. I can work like any other able person.
Whilst I'm disabled, I feel myself like no working. I should sit down quietly. When God call me, that go to this place, somebody will give me money and I will go. But something hit me and told me that no, don't sit down with your disability. Okay. People were there doing something, just try to do something. So I started digging. That was the foundation digging and manhole digging. Okay. With this one leg. I just tried and I saw that it was perfect that I can do than the able people.
So what did them now we fear now we need that so what them so be quiet to me saying obi to me no maduro no we Ghana I said
disability should never hinder any person who wants to earn a living.
Talent hour
Eric is a single-leg amputee, so he supports himself with a crutch when he has to mix the mortar. Michael, on the other hand, hops on one foot, while Akwesi has a deformed hand. Kweku has one arm. All these 4 men have one belief: where there is a will, there is a way. Some people are born with disabilities. Others become disabled due to an illness or injury, and some develop them as they age. Discrimination against these people is one of the worst social stigmas that society has not been able to overcome. They tell me they were turned down on several occasions when they went to search for jobs.
My brother was working at the Good Mice.
Where?
At Akotia. They are working over there and they call us that we should come. So when I went there, the manager was my co-friend. I just talked to him. I want to work some the work that they did. He told me that because of my leg, he don't allow me because of incident. And I just told him that I have a strength to do. He said no. So later they just rejected me. Then I come back. But
I went in search of a job, but was turned down because of my disability. I assured them I was capable, but they asked me to leave. Determination is one thing they all have. They believe, like any other able person, they can work perfectly without any hindrance.
I can work more than them because I have strength than them. Even like this concrete that we are coming to miss, I can miss 30 bags only high. Later on, I can even
30 bags
a day. Yeah.
And you don't get tired?
No. As I'm standing now, I don't hear any pains that I'm tired or I can continue to even time before. But rather when I close, I just pray. So when
just
I wake
by
up,
using one crutch.
only with this crutch.
I can work like any other able person.
Me am here me to foundation. Me to foundation me bibia say
to me tete mortar me to me peja mortar me to me 10 blocks.
I can dig, mix mortar, lay bricks. I can even play football. I can run faster than any other able person.
These persons with disability are workers of Talent R. Talent R is a non-governmental organization that prioritizes the needs of persons with disability. Its founder, Samuel Obiansa, is a contractor. He told me he lost his sight for 7 hours when he was a child. The dilemma he went through within those hours moved him to start Talent R to help persons with disability.
All the time, if I see someone begging in the street or if I see anyone who is a disabled, I have some passion. I feel some compassion. Yeah, for that person, because within about 7 hours or some few minutes, I go to that blindness.
You lost your sight.
I lost my sight within that. I lost my sight within that for about 7 hours. It's not easy.
Talent R is out in search of more talent. This time, it is the talent of persons with disability. Samuel Obiansa believes persons with disability have many talents when explored will go a long way to help them.
If government can help us, give us some contract like school buildings and some contract, we can employ more of persons with disability to work so that they can fend for themselves.
For Joy News, Patricia Roxanne Hammond.
Encouraging story there. Disability indeed cannot be an inability. Now, over the past 24 hours, social media has been buzzing with reports that an intern was refused an interview with a minister because she was a mere intern. But it appears elsewhere, some interns have some great stories to share. Some here in the Joy Newsroom have been sharing their experiences.
A great experience with interviews. One time I went for Legon congregation and I had to speak to the chairman for the occasion. He was standing in for the chancellor. I was even about leaving, but when I approached him and told him that I'm from Joy News and I needed to interview him, he welcomed me. He said okay, because if he could have said he didn't have time and would have not spoken to me, but he gave me the chance to talk to him and granted us the interview. It's kind of give us more, give us confidence. We build up on our confidence level. It's good for them to allow we the interns to also interview big people.
It's been good. In fact, one time I went to Parliament with a parliamentary correspondent, and he was not around at that time of the interview, so I had to do the interview. So at the time I was doing the interview, I had to approach one of the MPs and also, talk to him, engage him about the conversation. So he was welcoming. He didn't have any problem with me doing the interview. So
personal experience. So I've had challenges like if you want to go for an interview, you chase the person, that someone, for like 2 or 3 weeks at times, you know. Sometimes because you're an intern, people don't take you seriously, and like it will delay your work, but you have to go through it, and you know, resilience. So I tried to still not be disturbed by all this. So yeah, it was refreshing. You get to learn more, and actually artists, a lot of them, they are free. They are not people who if you come to them, no. Just you have challenges with the management team, you know, because yeah, you have to chase, but it's been great, you know. I enjoyed it. They should give opportunities to interns to express themselves and to be more involved in the work, because at the end of the day, they are here to work and to learn new techniques, new methods.
Coming up in business, Institute for Fiscal Studies urges government to take advantage of the extractive sector to bolster economic growth.
Petroleum resources, mineral resources, how much is the country getting? If you cannot sit down and critically examine this and be creative and get more, the growth is meaningful.
Coming up, stay with us.